So now that I did the final fitting and the pointe shoes are approved, we're ready to start sewing. What materials do we need? Let's see. A sewing needle. I would suggest having a little bit larger to medium-sized needle. The important thing is to make sure that the eye of the needle, I don't know if you can see this or not, is nice and large, so that way you can fit that thicker thread inside there. Next up, you will need a pair of scissors. Now, I know a lot of sewing kits come with these little tiny scissors, but these are going to be very difficult to use. I suggest that you get yourself a decent pair of scissors that way you can cleanly cut your ribbons and your thread. And then we'll also need little safety pins. These are for holding your ribbons in place while you're sewing. And unlike needles, they have a little ball at the end, so they don't go all the way through. Next up, you will need a pen. Good to go. A lighter. And some thread. Now, when you're choosing your thread, make sure that you don't just get the regular stuff or one that you might find in a travel sewing kit. That sort of thread is very thin and not very strong. And the thread here is going to be pulling on your ribbon and your shoe. So we want that to be super sturdy and strong. Otherwise, it just will break. What sort of thread should you get? You can go and get some quilting thread. However, if that seems like a difficult task or hard to find, a much easier solution is dental floss. Try and get the old school kind. Some like nice wax dental floss, nice and sturdy, won't break on you. And super cheap, last but not least, you will need your ribbons. Most ribbon is shiny on one side and then flat on the other, and it's a very thin material. So when you start to sew on it and then wear the shoe, sometimes as you're pulling on the ribbon, you'll end up getting little tears or runs in the ribbon. And if they get too bad, then the ribbon will come off your shoe. If you want a really good quality ribbon that's nice and thick and won't tear and pull as much, I would highly suggest that you get yourself some Gainer Minden ribbons. These are my favorite. Now, I know a lot of dancers like their ribbons to match their shoe, and overall I have found that the Gainer Minden ribbons match pretty well with other brands. They're nice, just neutral pink. They're not too orange or too pink. But also I find that if your ribbons match your tights more than your shoe, it'll actually give you a longer leg line on stage.